vlogger. I never have done any videos, anything like that. And I'm not getting paid to sponsor this or anything like that. But I just had to jump on here to talk about this medicine that has really helped me because I feel like it could help other people, and I really want to get the word out with it. So again, not getting paid, anything like that, just I've had such an amazing life change with this that I have to let other people know about it. What the medicine is it's called Naltrexone, and with that you can also do methods like the Sinclair Method and TSM with it. And how I came about it, not going to dive too deep into it. I may post some videos later on kind of going more into my history and my background. But a long story short, basically, I have always kind of had alcohol in my life. I started in high school, and then my friends and I would go to all the frat parties. We were like the party girls. Everything was kind of surrounded around drinking. And, going to a movie, going to concerts, like where are we going to pregame, all of that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until recently, well, I would say, so I'm 31 now. I started drinking when I was 17. And I've always been, I would say, probably more of like a binge drinker. I definitely enjoy the party aspect of it more. And as the years progressed, like my 20s, later 20s, I couldn't handle it anymore. The hangovers are terrible. I would throw up so much. But I didn't really feel like I had a problem. Or when I would look at videos and try to research, like, am I an alcoholic? Do other people have this issue like I do? It was always videos of older people or talking about AA and just stuff that I couldn't really relate to until I came around a few blogs of some girls kind of talking about their experiences and what helped them. So I did end up seeking out therapy, some counseling, all of that kind of stuff. I had some tragic events in my history that had happened. My mom, she suffered with bipolar, anxiety, depression. She ended up taking her life about 5 years ago or so. My dad became an alcoholic, just drinking nonstop. So it's been kind of in the family, and I've always been aware of that. And I've always been afraid of medication because that's how my mom took her life. And then I've also been afraid of drinking too much because of my dad. And so now my dad is clean. He's one of like the very few that, gosh, he is like my idol. I mean, he took his hardships and he tried rehab. He tried all these different things, and he finally just got to a spot where he's done. He does not drink. He doesn't need it. And I'm so proud of him. So, to fast forward a little bit, I didn't realize how much I used alcohol because it's just always around. Dinner, you have it, having a friend come over. I used it for a breakup. I used it for when me and my boyfriend at the time were fighting. I would use it after a long day at work, and it just started to progress worse and worse to where I just started getting so depressed. I almost got a DUI. That wasn't even a sign to me. I was just like, hey, I need to just be more careful about like taking lifts, taking Ubers, that kind of stuff. Partying too much where my friends started to say stuff. Didn't really click to me then. And like, I could just finish a bottle by the end of the night. Like, I could shoot back drinks left and right. And it was the cool thing in like college, you're shooting back shots and like playing beer pong and you're looking like a badass. And so it was just normal to me to have a glass of wine and then just, chug it. I didn't think anything different. So it wasn't until my boyfriend at the time started to notice, and he would say things, my family would say things, friends, and I ended up just becoming a person that I didn't even recognize in myself. I was venting to people, which there was nothing they could do. I would always kind of threaten, like, I want to kill myself. I want to emphasize I didn't want to kill myself. I wanted the thoughts to stop. I wanted the depression to stop. And just everything led to drinking. And I would be fine for a while and then it would start again. And so it was recently, July 1st, let's see. So the last day of June of this year is when it was just kind of my all-time low. It wasn't even one of the worst things that's ever happened, but it was definitely like a wake-up call to me. I had just, I found out again that the guy that I have been dating, he's been cheating, he's been lying, completely manipulative, narcissistic. Just couldn't believe that I fell in this trap again. I was so in love with him. I couldn't even believe it. And that I let myself fall in this trap again. My job, I wasn't loving as much anymore. I lost all sense of who Justine was. And I just remember drinking all night and getting so shaky and the hot and cold chills and my heart was racing. And I've had these feelings before. And then this night it was just so bad. And I just wanted help so bad. And so I was freaking out. I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe this is how I die. It's what it literally felt like. And so I had called my neighbor, and we're really close. And she had come down and took my blood pressure and ended up calling the ambulance. And they came over. It was like 4 or 5 the most attractive guys just surrounding me. I'm so embarrassed. I can't even see straight. I am humiliated, and they were so nice and so kind. And I was like, my heart is just racing like crazy. I don't know what's going on. And, ended up having them take me to the hospital. And that's just when kind of everything sank in, that I was like, oh my gosh, I have a problem. I am just so depressed right now. I can't believe that drinking has even led me to this. And so went through, some depression after that. It's now August, I think 24th or 25th. And so I've done really good since then. For me, my rock bottom was going to work that next day and having my boss be like, this isn't you, what's going on? And for me, my job means everything. I care so much what other people think about me. And when I heard that people at work were concerned that my job was on the line, I couldn't handle it. And luckily enough, my company is so great about mental awareness, and I was able to take off some time and really focus on getting better. And that's exactly what I did. I listened to my heart and I listened to my gut, and I researched and I came across this documentary just while I was searching for some help, and just after praying and after going to my doctors and trying to talk with her and doing counseling, and I come across this documentary called One Little Pill. And it's with this actress, Claudia Christian, and it was fascinating to me. Just the stories that they talked about and how you could have a drink, but eventually it leads you to just not wanting to drink anymore. It just really fascinated me, and I hadn't heard anything like that before. And so I started researching it a little bit more. Ended up following her on Instagram, found this girl, Katie. I started watching her blogs, and her stories just hit home for me. And I just knew AA wasn't for me. It wasn't working for me. Counseling wasn't working for me. I could go without alcohol, but then I was right back at it again. And I was just at such a loss of, I've never been out of control before. Like, how do I even go about this? And so I ended up going to my doctor and asking her if she had ever heard of the Sinclair Method or Naltrexone. And she was like, oh, I think I've maybe heard of it, but not really. And I heard that it was really hard to get here in the US. And so luckily enough for me, my doctor is one of the best doctors that I've ever found. She has been by my side this whole time, checks in on me, makes sure that I'm in a positive state of mind. And she was like, let's give it a shot. So it did take a while to actually get to me. It probably took a few weeks because I wasn't able, it was the first week of July that I went to the doctors, and I didn't even get the medication until July 21st. So it does take some time to get to you because it is kind of hard to track down in the US. But I was able to get it, and I was like, let's just see what happens. And at the beginning, my doctor said, just take it daily, and then we'll go from there and see if we need to change that. And so I started taking it daily. And then with that, I was also doing self-care. So I took a solo trip to Oregon. I live in Utah, and I just drove out there on my own, packed my car, listened to all these motivational videos, re-listened to One Little Pill, re-listen to all the blogs that Katie and Claudia have put out there, as well as a bunch of other people who have posted about their experience. And I made it my mission to not drink at all in Oregon, and I didn't. And I felt cleansed, and I felt like I was in such a good space. And I was like, this is the Justine that I want to be. And then coming back, I had a couple of drinks with some friends, and then I'm still doing counseling. I'm still going to the gym. The gym is a huge thing for me to keep my endorphins going and keep me feeling good. Eating healthy, cooking, all of that kind of stuff. So I have made it a mission to not get back to that dark spot. And so back to Naltrexone, I've been taking it every day. And then it was a few weeks in, and I did a trip with my dad to Colorado, and I was like, oh, I feel like a couple of drinks. And something that I'm very grateful for my dad is, he knows that it has to be inside of you when you're finally ready to be done. And he's like, okay, whatever you need to do. He had seen really good progress in me, and he just doesn't persuade me one way or another, which I really appreciate. And so I ordered a couple of shots of tequila because that's my go-to, and I had a couple glasses of champagne. And I woke up that next day and I had a little bit of a stomach ache, but I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't really feel anything. It didn't give me that excitement or that I wanted to keep drinking all night. The old me, I would have been ordering shots left and right, keep the bottles coming, let's go like, see if we can hit up a club. Like, I wouldn't even care if it was my dad. Like, I would be dragging him along to whatever parties and whatever dance I could find. So it was little signs, and coming back and realizing that I poured a glass of wine and I didn't even crave it. Like, it almost made me sick to my stomach to think about having to consume that. And that's just wild. Like, I've never had that feeling since I was 17. Like, alcohol is so exciting to me. It makes me feel so good. I could drink it all day and all night. And then I was up at my neighbor's house and I realized she was like, oh, do you want like a beverage or anything? And I was like, no. And then we just kept talking. And I came back to my apartment and I was like, oh my gosh, I just turned down booze and I didn't even think twice about it. And that's when the light bulb went off. Like, I'm the one that shows up with booze or already thinking about, please pour me a glass. It didn't even come across me to want to have a drink. That's not like me. And so it just was little patterns like that. Like, I couldn't believe it. And being with friends, and I would have a drink and not even finish the drink. Like, this isn't normal for me. And I was like, it has to be this medication. I know it's also the self-care that I've been doing for myself, but to not crave it, to like physically feel like I don't want it, life-changing. So now that it's been a few weeks in, I only take it an hour before I know at least an hour before I know if I may have a drink. I may not even have a drink at all, but I always kind of prep myself because I'm still learning myself. I've had a lot of changes within just the last few months where I'm really relearning myself. And so, you know, I took a pill right before I went out with my girlfriend and we went to the pool, ended up having a couple of drinks and went to dinner, only had one there and didn't even finish the drink. Left half of it at dinner, and that's just unheard of for me. I'm still in the very beginning stages. Like I said, I just started July 21st. It's barely been a little over a month. But I had to reach out to Claudia and I had to reach out to Katie and tell them, thank you so much. Thank you for putting this blog out there and for talking about this product, because it is almost like a cure. It's a cure. It's like a miracle drug. And I know it doesn't work for everyone. But oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to get emotional. I'm just so grateful. And I know it's the very beginning stages, but I can already feel the changes. I don't even have alcohol in my house anymore. I barely even touch it. And so I can see how, you know, they talk about you getting to that level where you just, extinction, I think is what they call it, where you just don't even need it anymore. And I just tell you what, it like, I feel myself again, and it's given me confidence, and it's made me a whole better person, and it has given me passion to want to help other people and to keep talking about this and to get it out there and to just know like you are worth it and it is worth a shot to just try it. There's no side effects to it. Like you're not going to get addicted to it. It's nothing like that. Like even if you're just a moderate drinker, anything like that, like I say, give it a try. It's helped me so much. And I like completely fangirled when Claudia reached back out to me and Katie reached back out to me and they were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, thank you. And I made their day by reaching out and, you know, I just want to thank them thank you for not being shy and for being so open and vulnerable and letting me find you guys, because it has drastically changed my life for the better, and I cannot wait to see what the future brings. So again, just thank you, and I hope this gets to someone that really needed to hear this. Thank you.